Hello, this is Zig777, and welcome back to Ars Nouveau. Today we are putting the finishing touches on at least the proof of concept here for the Compuchanter. It's kind of a mess here, so we'll do a quick kind of overview, but we also have, like I said, we have one last thing we need to work on. And yeah, so basically items are going to be coming from up above that will be telling us which enchantment is next in line. That'll follow along this hopper line, it'll go over here, and that will then spit out the recipe. Yes, we are diving straight into Redstone here. Once the correct recipe is selected, it's going to go along this first water line here, pop up here, and be deposited into this dispenser. Dispenser is going to then drain the shulker box, which has our recipe. Items are going to go down to this filter array, which basically is going to be individual items. So for instance, we've got a whole bunch of source gem blocks, lapis blocks, abjuration essence, all the essences are all along here. Basically, it's just going to pick out which item do we need, and it's going to do that by just one at a time pulling items out so it can read it in time. Eventually, once the box is empty, then this circuit up here is going to break the shulker. Shulker is going to fall down here through these hoppers and be dispensed by the dispenser here. Once everything is through and all the items are pulled out, those are going to be going up top. Once up top is done, once the items are all on the pedestals, that will then signal to down here, hey, your items are full, break the shulker, goes down here, and it's going to be sent back into the recipe book. It's kind of a complicated line here. It's not exactly easy to read things. 2012 Redstone with the stone bricks everywhere. I was going to try to color code things, but I realized there's not that much stone here anyway to actually really color code, so it doesn't really make sense. But like I said, we have one last thing to do, and that is once our recipe paper has gone along here, so we've got paper here, says mana regen 3. Once one of those comes through here, it's going to go down this line, follow this hopper line over here, and be dispensed out of this dropper up into a water stream up top to then go back where it came from. So let's go ahead and finish this part here. So let's start with a auto dropper circuit. So it's not the most compact, not the most efficient, not the most really anything, but it does work. So yeah, it works. Let's grab our redstone, which of course I just tossed back into here because I was trying to clear my inventory. Never clear your inventory, just always keep a full inventory of everything, then it'll always work. You can go there and there, block can go here, that doesn't go there actually, sorry. You go on that one, and a repeater goes here. What that means is once an item goes into here, it's going to read an output. That's going to power this redstone, and that will be pulled out by the repeater, which will then go into this wire and the target block. Target block will then power the dropper. This redstone is also going to go into the comparator here, so if I put more than one item, it's just going to spit everything out. Perfect. So that part is done. This part here then is going to be a water column. So I'm just going to go, we'll do solid blocks for this part, why not? And we'll do, you can be like that. We're just going to patch that up, I think. And the rest of this is going to then be glass. So let's go to line mode. You go all the way up there. You also go all the way up there. And you similarly also go all the way up here. There we go. This will just come straight up into these hoppers here. We're going to break that one and break that. And I think... Did I do this right? No, I didn't because I needed it to be in that row. Cool. Like I said, we have our glass along this line here, just like so. All the way up. Thank you very much. You can go up here as well. Break you. And let's go to disable mode on that one. Now, up here is pretty simple. It's just going to be all the way up top. Let's give you a little bit more light so we can see. And let's hope we have a little bit more room up here. That'll work. Basically, all this is going to be is water is going to come up here, and I'm going to have it overlap just a little bit. It doesn't need to go very far. It just needs to go all the way up. So you can go like that, and we are now stuck. Luckily, we can be whatever we'd like to be, and I want to be a magma cube today. The reason for that is I'm just a 1 block tall, and also it has the same amount of health. Also apparently no fall damage. Oh, yeah, I have flight ritual. That's fine. Yeah, so that means that we don't have to worry about healing, because that was one problem with switching back and forth, is that it kept hurting. So then I'd have to heal, which would then waste food. Let's make you a block as well. Oh, interesting. my view height as a magma cube is offset. That is interesting. Okay, we're going to go back to being me then. Break that. Not entirely sure what I'm standing on right now. There we go. You know, let's just start over on this one. There we go. Okay. So, water goes here, water goes here, water goes here, all the way up. And at the top, it just kind of flows over the hopper here, and that is it. So let's go back to, you know, I'm just going to break stuff and hope we don't have sand fall on us. There we go. Okay. Down here, that is now all water sources, so we can go back down to the bottom here. Break. Break. One thing I've noticed is that I'm not entirely sure which mod is doing it. It may just be Ars Nouveau, but like diorite here, I can break that because I have room in my inventory, but for some reason, it's not doing it where before I would just kind of drop things on the ground. It's not breaking anything. Actually, you know why that is? Because it's going into my offhand, and I don't know what mod is doing that. It's kind of annoying. Sticks, you can go away. There we go. Okay, so we need this block right here. We're going to replace you with a soul sand to turn this into a soul sand bubble column. And we should get some bubbles. I saw a bubble there for a second. Bubbles, there we go. Okay. And we can test that this works by, if I throw something in there, it's going to go into my filters, which I probably don't want to do yet. Okay, but either way, this now works. We have our return line for the recipes, or for the enchantment papers. We've got our ingredient line. It's going to come over here. I think this is working. I think that's everything. Let's test this. I haven't tested this yet. Cleaning my inventory, cleaning my inventory. Alright, so, like I said, I think we're online. I think this is all up and running, and we are going to go ahead and test it. Right, I need a starbuncle. Actually, I need like 3 starbuncles. How many do I have? And of course, the last thing that I needed in here besides Starbuncle is source, because enchantments do require source. Most things in the enchanting apparatus don't need source, but for this one they do. So what I'm going to do actually for this is, let's grab just some general building material here. I want this to be fancy. We're going to go ahead and go up. Can go up maybe here? Let's see if that... maybe just right here. Let's break you. Similarly, we could go up to here, and I want these guys to be floating, because that sounds cool to me. Break that and that and that one, and we're going to have it be floating there. Can I? I'm sure there's a way I can make this work. So let's put the brick back on there. Break you. If I put you on here, and then if I do something like this, switch you for touch and exchange. We'll go ahead and throw a pickup on there as well. Okay, let's see if this works. If I... Oh, no, it does update it. Darn. Okay. Huh. Because I know Zachris had done something similar with it, but I think it was sand, and since sand is a solid block, I think that worked. I was hoping to have it floating there with a amethyst on the bottom. Can I stick you to the sides at all? No? Oh, that's disappointing. Also, exchange seemed to have... Are you full? You are full. Okay, so exchange just made it look like it wasn't. Okay, that's fine. Where... I'm just going to put you, I think, maybe here and here then. I was hoping to have you be floating with some crystals on it, but fine, we'll do it this way. It's boring. Cool. That works. Starbuncles. We need, I think, 3 of you. Oh, nice. Let's go to the middle of the block now. Good to know. First up, the plan is, when we have an item to enchant, we will select our enchantment, which will then eventually go into this chest after we hit go, which is this button here. So items will then stack up in here. It'll be just a bunch of pieces of paper, at which point we are able to then put our item in here. Item in here is going to follow along this hopper line, which will go into this barrel. There is also a comparator here, which triggers the next enchantment. So that's a thing we'll get to in a second. And there's another comparator over here that tells us when the enchantment stuff is here, if that makes sense. Stuff. Technical term. Okay, so first Starbuncle. Your job is going to be deposit things into this apparatus. Sounds good. You are going to be pulling from this chest. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and cover up these again, because I want it. Okay, so that is good. I'm going to move you over there. Thank you. Next up, I need someone to pull from the apparatus. So that will be you. From apparatus to Starbuncle. From Starbuncle to chest. Cool. That's your job. You can go over there. Your job is going to be stocking all the pedestals. So that's just going to be from you to the pedestal. From you to the pedestal. And so on and so forth. To the pedestal. And I think with that, we are now ready for our actual first test. Let's go ahead and take my hat. We have Mana Boost 1 and Mana Regen 1. So that means if I go over here, I don't want to give it Regen 1, but I do want 2 and 3. Similarly, Boost 2 and 3. I also want full protection. I don't currently have protection on here, so I need 4 levels of that. Okay, so over here, we're going to then say, Bleed Start. That will then basically send a signal looping all the way around the entire place until it eventually gets over here, which will be depositing items. We can look in here. Regen 2, Regen 3, Boost 2, Boost 3, Protection 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, I think the signal's actually still going around, but I know I'm not going to be needing any of the, projectile things, the bow enchantments. I don't need those for this. This is a hat after all. Let's go ahead and throw our hat in here because we are ready to go. And in theory, it should now be working. If I look over here, it took the Mana Regen 2, and we should have some items popping up here relatively shortly. I hope. We'll see. Well, so far nothing's done anything, and so that tells me that there's probably a paper stuck in the system here. But where? That hopper's locked, but these are also all empty hoppers. You still only have the Regen 2 coming out, so that's fine. I don't see a hopper that's holding anything. It should have gone in here. Regen 1, Regen 2. It should have gotten pulled by this hopper. So why did it not get pulled by that hopper? Interesting. Are you over here? You shouldn't be, because if there was, then it'd go all the way back up again. Well, nothing ever in Redstone works first time. Let's see where it went wrong. But genuinely, where did it go? Because, quite honestly, this part I had tested. Like, it got pulled. It went through here. It went down. I wonder if... Well, this is going to break everything if this is the case. This should have worked. This should have triggered this. Oh. Oh, no, it wouldn't. Right. Okay. Easy to fix, easy to fix. Let's get some redstone. I need a lot of redstone for this. But just simple redstone is all. Okay, so this is easy enough to fix, and I can actually... I'm going to kind of do a quick shortcut on this part here. Back into being a magma cube, please. And I need an extra Regen 2 just to start us off. Let's put you back into here. Regen 2. Thank you. Now, what went wrong is down here, this went wrong. This needed to have redstone there. So the signal comes along here for if Regen 2 comes in, it would go over there, and it needs to trigger this target block. It obviously did not trigger the target block because this redstone wasn't here. Let's quickly add these in, and we can test number 2. Okay, so test number 2 is going to be a little unconventional here because I need to first break this out and grab our sorcerer's collar. So once I do that, it's also going to be triggering down here to break a shulker box, which is not even there, so that's fine. We can go ahead and retry. So if I send this back through here, and I do want that on top of it. That will have gone through. Oh, I hear a click. Do we have items? There's our first items. Those bounce a lot. Now, you guys, specifically you, need to get to work. So I need you to go over there. I might have to have those go into an inventory instead of just floating there, but I think once I get him closer over here. Actually, yeah, I definitely need those to be into an inventory. Go pick up the items, please. Go over there. You see items. You can put them in. Fine. Whatever. I have a chest. Let me grab a hopper real quick. Like I said, redstone, nothing ever... Right, my redstone's not down here. Nothing ever works first the first time. That's fine. That's normal testing. Let's grab a couple hoppers. I should only need one. We'll go over here. Put a hopper... We'll put a chest right here. There. A hopper on top of that. And similar to what we had done before, we'll go like this. And we can put a block on top of that. Let's put you there and right there. We'll replace that block later, but for now this will work. Water can go here and here. Doesn't go to me, thank you. We're going to put a block on top of here as well. You go in, you go in, you go in. There we go. This should now be set. That is absolutely not what I needed. Luckily, I think there's no redstone down there. I hope. Okay, Mr. Starbuncle, you have a job to do. That is pull from here. Thank you. Now it should, and I should have tested this part, it should realize that there's items there. And you have a destination. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. Take from the chest, please. Okay, so he took one. What I'm doing is I'm rebinding him to all of these. Because maybe that'll work. Nope. Stop moving, please. Stored entity. Thank you. Deposit. Stored entity. Deposit. I'm going to have to look back at the footage. I wonder if I actually had this backwards. I think I may have set it backwards accidentally. Storing at 8. Put the last item there. Okay. Now, one of you guys. I think you. You should be able to go over there. I did test this part. Are you stuck? You have a thing to do. Do you remember your thing? Let's clear you. Okay. Take from you to the Starbuncle. Starbuncle stores here. Let's clear you. From you to the Starbuncle. From Starbuncle to the chest. You should start working. Let's grab another, where was it? Carpet? And perfect. He took it from there. Deposited over into this chest, and it should just work now. I think. So our items will pop up over here shortly and be deposited into the chest, and ideally we'll get stuck in the chest. I want to replace this with, I think, a stair block will be the better option. Perfect. Thank you. Seems to be working. Yes, yes. Next up, your job. Awesome, it's working! So without having to hit anything, it's gonna just go through and start doing everything. One quick problem I just realized though that I need to address pretty quickly is I need to get over here. You need a block over the top of you. That's something you need. I need inside here, there should be a relay somewhere. Where did that relay go? Are you up here? Where'd my relay go? You send down to here. I think the relay is behind here. Basically, the problem I have that I'm trying to solve at the current moment in time is I need to find my relays because I need source. Like I said, enchanting needs source, so these chests are going to be drained pretty quickly. I think it's just going to be holding up a star beetle until then. But either way, this is working, so I'm happy with this. And you are going to be linked to these 2 jars. Okay. From you to you. And I need to find a jar that is full, because that means that the jar has been linked properly. You're an empty jar. I don't think I can reach all the way from this one. See, it says sending to one location, so it's going somewhere, and I think it's going down here. I just can't remember where. But it might be able to reach to this one. It can. Perfect. Excellent. That all works. I like it. I like it. And one thing is with the circuit setup is when this is empty, once all the protection enchants are on there, it will actually then lock the hopper underneath here. And so once the item is finally just sitting in here and not automatically going into the hopper to the barrel over here, that means that our item is now done. So that was protection level 1 that just got on it. Goes in here, disappears, pulls an item out of here. That was, it just pulled out protection 2. This seems to all be working. So we can actually kind of watch it in place here. There we go, the shulker just picked up, pulled the items out of our dispensers over here. Once it goes up there and our item gets pulled out of the barrel, then that will send a signal down this line. You can see that light up shortly. And it'll pop our shulker box. Shortly. Eventually. There we go. That goes into that chest cart, comes up here, and deposits it back wherever the first one is empty, which is the only one that's been used. Notice the light just popped on. I don't have the rest of those circuits, the filters and stuff set up for those yet. Those are the additional like fire protection enchants in there, projectile blast or something like that, thorns over there. Basically, this line right here is actually temporary, returning back there, because eventually it will go over to this line once this whole wall of filters and everything is built up. And our cart's going to go all the way around through our, like the unbreaking stuff is there, sharpness is over here, bow stuff is over here, power, punch, flame, whatever. And it'll eventually come back to the same little line down here, go over here, and be sitting here waiting for our next shulker. Like so. So that gets sent off, and I think that means that it should be finishing enchanting our last item here. Oh, protection 4 is next. You can watch it pop into here very quickly. You don't even see it because he dropped it over here and the hopper immediately pulled it out. So it should at this point just be sitting right here. And you'll notice it was happily pulling items out even with the carpet on top of it. You can take a look at it. Mana boost, mana regen, protection 3. Yeah, it is working. Now there are of course things that I could do to maybe tweak this, make it a little bit faster. Like there's a lot of downtime right now as it's collecting the next set of items. Let's not die, please. But I'm not really sure what I could do, really. Cause I guess what I could do is, so I trigger right now the next item for the like enchantment list. I do that based off of the item going through this hopper. And maybe if I did that... like, for the initial time, I need it to go through the hopper before it'll actually do anything, but maybe I could set the next one off of whenever the item gets pulled out of here, maybe? Yeah, I was trying to think of, like, ways that'll tweak it to be a little bit faster. Obviously, maybe I could have this line detect the first time, so pull off of this hopper, for instance, to trigger to pull out the first item, and then after that, pull it out of this one. So basically the first time it goes through, the, we'll say the armor gets pulled out and already start pulling the next items, maybe? Maybe that's something we could do? Because right now it's not pulling it until it's already looped back through it, so after it's done like processing. So we would instead shift it to be the start of the processing instead of the ending of it. That might speed it up a little bit because then it'll ideally be pulling all these items beforehand. But the problem I run into with that is not everything uses all 8 slots. So for instance, if it's using 7 slots, for instance, and the next items start to come into here, I don't know if that's going to break something with the Starbuncle filling a pedestal when the rest of the pedestal is already being used. I don't know what'll happen if you do that, actually. Maybe that's something I can do in a creative world later. This does work, though, and I'm quite happy with how this is working. Like I said, I'm going to do that to the rest of my armor, get some protection on everything, because as you saw in the little beginning clip, we've got some plans, and that plan involves I would like a tier 3 book today because I would like to have Blink. Blink is a very useful spell, not just for moving myself, but also for moving things like items. So I'll be down here waiting a little bit for this to process, and I'll see you up top. Alright, I want to take a look at some things here. If I go ahead and break out this, I want to turn this into, basically have it trigger off of pulling out of here for the first time. So what I'm going to do is this block right here, let's go ahead and put a block under you. That's going to be the same gray line, because that's going to be the pull an item out line, so that's fine. So from that, let's go ahead and break that block there. Break the block there. Thank you. No. Don't. Where'd you go? Ah, this is locked because that's empty. Perfect. Okay, cool. Cobblestone, you can just kind of disappear down here because I don't care about you. Okay, so we have this block here is going to have a comparator on it. I want to read the first time we pull an item through from here, we'll trigger that line over there. I could have it face this direction. I guess I'm going to have a line of carpet here anyway, so maybe I'll put it on this side. That's going to be a little bit clearer to work with, I think. Let's go ahead down here. I want a gray block. Thank you very much. One right there, and right there. Okay, so we're going to stick our comparator here instead. Starbuncle, please move out of the way. Thank you. And of course I don't have my smooth stone to put there. We'll use this one instead. Cool, thank you. Okay, so all that to say, we've got a comparator is going to be reading out of here, and it's going to be inputting or outputting to this block here, which is solid. From there, and we can stick, I should have grabbed my blocks to begin with. Let's go with a redstone box, some polished cut andesite, because that's what I'm using. So I know a lot of redstoners in vanilla will use things like wool for this sort of stuff, the scaffolding for your redstone, but this is modded, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use blocks because I have lots of different colors of blocks I can use that aren't just wool, and they still work nicely. So this line here, if anything comes out of here, we are going to then output a signal this direction right here. Cool. Next up, you can get broken because this line is not going to be used anymore. Okay. And similarly, we can break this block, but I want to make sure that I don't have, yeah, that happening. Where'd you go? Moss carpet, thank you. Let's put blocks here, doesn't really matter what I use. Okay, cool. So this line is now going to be reading over here. First time the item gets pulled from our initial input chest, it will pull one item through. Cool. Next up, I also want to be triggering this line anytime this barrel gets the item pulled out. That way, basically what will happen is the Starbuncle will pull the item, it'll start processing, and at that point we can then start grabbing our next set of items. It should speed up quite a bit if we do that. So I'm just going to run a line this way here, and I think all I need to do, I need to pull off of this line here. So if I just do a line like that, I don't actually need to pull off the line, I can just pull off this redstone torch. That'll work. Perfect. Thank you. You can go there. I don't want this to continue downwards, so I actually do want that line. Which means this can go up, which is fine, but due to vanilla redstone in Java, it won't go down. That's fine. So you go over here, let's break that. We need a solid block right there. That'll actually work as well, but we'll put a solid block there. Okay, you're updated, you're on. Okay, so what this will do is it will pull one item out whenever it gets a signal. So right now we don't have a signal, so that's fine. Your power 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay, so that'll be fine. If I do this, it'll try to pull an item out, but being as I don't have any items up there, that'll be fine. And of course this is basically a diode, it's not going to go backwards, that's fine. And here as well, if my signal goes this direction, that'll be 15, 14, 13, 12. It's not going to go all the way down to there, so it won't bother breaking anything. I think that's all we need to do, which should have then sped up this process quite a bit. Alright, regen and boost are selected, nothing from protection, since my boots already have regular protection 4, so that's fine. And you can be tossed into here. Eventually I'll of course add things like depth strider and that sort of stuff, but I don't have that yet. So we're going to put you in. That should pull. It's not going to pull anything because I haven't actually selected that yet. Cool. You can be taken out. Thank you very much. One thing that's important is we don't want to throw an item in until the whole selection is here. We'll do that. Start it up. Regen, regen, boost, boost. That's all I needed on this one. If there's still items coming in, then what could happen is, for instance, if it has regen 2, regen 3, and then I hit start before it started doing the rest of these, it could start doing them out of order because, for instance, it would now be an empty spot at the beginning from pulling out regen 2, and then if our boost 3 went in that slot before boost 1, then basically nothing's going to happen. It's just going to sit here with the items and not actually doing anything. So we do need to make sure that we have our items in there first. Since we do, we can go ahead and throw you in. That'll pull one item out. Our regen 2 got pulled, thank you. And this now, so I broke the circuit there, so that one's fine. Just want to kind of double check things. I feel really slow now without my boots, because I have my speed on them. You guys should be getting some items pretty quickly. There you go. Quicker than that, please. Cool. Got 2 more. Oh, right. Berries too. Okay, next up should grab that. Thank you. And at that point, it should already be grabbing the next set of items. So it should have already triggered. Something should be coming along here shortly. Perhaps. Oh, interesting. That's gonna... Is that gonna be a problem? This is the item for the second round. That gets filled. I think that's fine. Alright, so playing with this new setup here of it being powered off of the, when it pulls out of the barrel, it works. I think technically there could be a race condition where it might try to pull the next recipe out before the first one is returned, because remember, it's going to be draining it from down here. It's eventually going to be kicking that cart off with the shulker box to return it where it came from. And if I have it powered off of that little output chest there, or the input barrel, yeah, if I have it powered off of that, then what may happen is it may pull the next one before that one is returned, in which case there's going to be now 2 empty spots, technically. But because of the way this works, and it's always going to be in the same order, so like if I'm going to have regen, it's always going to be before boost, because it goes regen, then boost, then protection. Because it's always going to be in the same order, even if there's 2 that are out at the same time, the first one that's going to be returned is going to be the first empty slot that it meets, if that makes sense. So it's basically like if this one here is being returned and the cart's coming around, and this one gets sent off, it's fine because that first cart needs to go in here anyway. So I think that'll actually work out okay. I'm sure I'll hit like a server TPS problem and it's going to completely break everything, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. It does noticeably speed it up, and we now have boost, regen, and protection on everything. And of course, eventually I'll come back and I'll have to do the next set of things. Like over here I've got, what is it, depth strider, feather falling. I already have feather falling. Aqua affinity, respiration, those sorts of things. And of course, unbreaking is over there, and maybe soulbound as well. Those are things I'll have to do later, but in order to even get to those, I have to build these here: projectile protection, blast protection, thorns. So it'll be a little while before I finish doing that, and mostly, like I said, I wanted to get at least protection on here so we can have some fun and go fight the Chimera. So let's go ahead and do that. And I promise at some point we will move out of this wall of chests, but for now, just need to clean up my inventory a little bit so I have some room for things. Why do I have baked potatoes? I don't even eat baked potatoes. You can go into crop chest, sure. We have mendocine and berry rolls. In fact, I'm going to put both of those, I can put those back. No, we'll take, yeah. Berry rolls give us mana regen. I also have some pumpkin spice latte because 'tis the season. 28 saturation plus the extra saturation from this one here, 60% bonus saturation from the whirly sprig thread. Basically, that gives me a whole bunch of health, so I can drink this whenever. Doesn't, show anything, but it does actually seem to add all the saturation. Like if I run here, we can see the little bar goes up. That didn't actually drain any saturation from us because it's filled up so full. Like keep running, it's not draining that at all. Still has a little gold border around it. So yeah, that's pretty powerful. And in fact, I think each of these I can eat even if I'm not hungry. Yeah, I can eat all three of those. So that will work out quite nicely. So let's go ahead and head over to our little arena, which isn't much of an arena actually. Apparently upside down. Best way to fly, cool. Let's head over here and let's sort some things out first. Okay, on our map here we have this nice little kind of an island thing in the middle of the desert. It seemed like a decent spot. It's far enough away that I won't notice if there's any big craters. Apparently we have a lush forest below us, or lush cave below us. That's kind of cool. But in general, it's just kind of a generic desert that's, out of render distance. So I have a few things set up. I have, obviously, our ritual that we need for the actual Chimera fight. Tablet of Containment is running. I'm pretty sure I can capture him, so we're going to try that. Let's grab all these. I have an extra jar here to be able to, power this guy. This might blow up horribly. It might work. It might not. It may, if it blows up, then cool. But let's go ahead and grab, I need my shield, which I am blind. I cannot see it. Right here. Thank you. Enchanter's shield. We'll put that on there, and we will go with one of the coolest spells ever. So, I want to kind of go over this. I have a focus of block shaping. These are pretty simple to craft. Manipulation essence. I've got thousands of essence at this point. Slime, diamond, gold, piston. Pretty cheap. Duplicate spells that modify or move blocks. Can be used to create damaging moving blocks. So, this allows you to do kind of fun things. You can toss things up into the air. You can use it for some interesting crafting mechanics. Like, I saw someone make a glass generator by throwing sand up and then falls and gets smelted, I guess. So it's kind of a cool thing. But more importantly, I have this spell. This spell's pretty cool. It also is a way to obtain kind of these forbidden blocks. These are mage blocks. You can, obtain them. The actual color, I think, doesn't matter. In fact, if I do this, let's make you blue. We'll see if that works. Nope, still purple. Cool. So we're going to end up with a whole bunch of these, cursed forbidden blocks. That's fine. I think we're ready to go. So first I want to try to capture this guy, just because that sounds like a fun thing to do. We'll put the jar down right here, turn you off, turn you on, just make sure that it's actually running. And let's go ahead. We need to right click with you, toss one of each with Q. Consumed, Wilden Horn, Wilden Wing, and Wilden Spike. And now if I right click you again, we are either going to blow up, or we'll have a a Chimera in a jar. I think we should. Maybe. Cool. Hello there. Now, someday we may end up, I would like to capture one of each variety of these, but for now I like having one of these in a jar. You can go into my backpack here just to keep you safe. Cool, let's go ahead, and I don't need this anymore. I'm going to return this to base. I'm going to take this stuff back to base so that in case it blows up, I don't lose the tablet. It's not expensive, I just am lazy. Alright, I moved it over there just so it's out of range. Let's go ahead and fight this guy. So right click with that again, toss one of each of these in. Horn, spike, and wing. Perfect. Let's go ahead and activate you. And I hope we don't die a horrible death. Shield up, thank you. And let's get our spell. Hello. There we go. Yeah, it deals a decent amount of damage. Kind of noisy. Knocks him back a bit as well, which is always good. And there we go. You're healing. Let's get our regen going. Oh. Yeah, he's got a bit of a kick to him. Not enough mana. Okay. Oh, why are you healing? I didn't know you healed. Well, I'm about to die. Okay, let's take our shield. Come on. Hit. And gonna block. There we go. Yeah, shields. Shields are the best thing for this. Alright, spikes. I like spikes. Spikes are good. We can deal with spikes. And right now, by the way, I should point out, he's pretty much immune to damage, so it's not worth getting anywhere near him. Just kind of run away. You gonna come this way? Yep. Yep, yep. Let's not stand on the cactus. Hey, there we go. Our first wild tribute. And now we can pick up all of our forbidden blocks. Okay, so my plan was originally to fight several of these. That's why I had enough to get 2 more of them. But, yeah, my shield's almost dead. 178. It's not looking too good. I think this should repair, but I think it repairs fairly slowly. My armor repaired all the way. I don't even have repairing on here. Oh, I guess I do have 1. So it repairs, I think, 2 damage every 2 damage every 10 seconds, I think. This was 179. We're up to 180, so this does repair just very, very slowly. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave this sitting over here. I have enough of those anyway. They're cheap enough to make. I'll come over here later and maybe fight a few more off camera or something if I need them. But for now, I have myself a Wild Tribute. So we can do a few things with this. Namely, we can make Tier 3 book. We can make a Focus of Summoning. I don't really use summons. Imbuement Chamber, Mark of Mastery. These are for the Ars Elemental stuff. And of course, you can, throw some books in a cauldron and mix it that way, I guess. Let's go ahead and go make ourselves an Archmage spellbook, which I just realized needs a few more parts. So let's go hunting. So the next items that I need for this spellbook is a Totem of Undying, emeralds, those are fine, ender pearls, those are fine, and a Nether Star. So Nether Star, of course, is just, go fight the wither, no big deal. I think I've got enough here, so we've got 4, so let's grab 3 of those. And some soul sand would be up here if I didn't just grab it for building. Soul soil, soul soil. Okay, let's go grab some more soul sand so we can fight that guy. No big deal, we'll do that. And then the other problem is going to be the Totem of Undying. So, we need to go start a raid. I guess I have some villagers. I can't remember if I can do a raid with them in a box or not, or if I need to get an actual villager. Maybe we'll... where did I put you? You in there? No. Where did... Not in there. I emptied that out. Let's go grab a villager, put him in a desert somewhere, and go start a raid. Well, luckily our nether portal is, of course, right in a soul sand area, so let's go ahead and grab a whole bunch of this. I only need, I guess, 4. Can break those. Thank you. A little bit of lag. That's no big deal. 16 soul sand. That should be enough for fighting one, of course. Let's see, I can go either fight him in the overworld, just in a cave. That's always easy enough. We also have the end portal, so I might do that. Let's go do that. That is up here. Up. Let's go up here, please. Please. This way. There we go. Okay. Perfect. We have a nice little nether network just on the roof of the nether there. I don't really have anything mapped out yet, but just a few things like, waypoints. That'll get us over here into the nether. I have flight with that, so in case we die, or in case we fall off, we can always fly back up again. But I think, yeah, so someone has a ender, mob farm thing there. Let's go up here, and I bet someone already has something underneath here for fighting the wither, because that tends to be the case. Looks like it. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and put this down. Hopefully nothing blows up too big. If not, then guess we'll have some fun. You know, I just realized that was a really bad idea. Well, no, he's fine. He's stuck in bedrock. One thing is that my usual attack spell here, since it is Cold Snap... Wow, you are loud. Sound... Can go down? Okay. So yeah, my regular does not... Oh, it does hurt him. I thought he was immune. Oh, that's good to know. Okay, well... Make short work of him. There we go. Ooh, unlocked Wither Identify, or Identity. Fortune doesn't do anything, by the way. This is not technically a drop. It's spawned after he dies. Also means you can't really use the Drag Me on him, but that's okay. I only had enough for one of those, but that gets us that. Easy enough. Cool. Okay, we are at 2 of our 3 items. Next up, we need to do a raid. Now, I don't think there's really a village near me. So like I mentioned that before, I think we can, I've got my backpack here of villagers, so I can just, you know, take one out, no big deal. I've got a composter to make it official, make it an actual village, and we have over here a pillager farm. This is kind of, I've been expanding the rail network a little bit. Nothing fancy yet, just a little station here that gets us right to the outpost. Nothing too fancy there. Let's, you know, rubber band, that's always fun. Where do I want to fight this? I think just in the desert is probably the best, but there's a lot of hills here. I could just fight them over here. That's an option. Let's do that. I think I'll build a small thing. I'll get Bad Omen here real quick. And let's see, anyone here got a banner? No? No captains? Okay, let's fly away. Might be 128, might not be, that's okay. Anyone here with a fancy banner? No? Okay. There we go. Hello there. You can go away. Thank you. And let's just kind of go this direction. Okay. So, I'm not sure if the villagers at my place are going to count, so we're going to stay away from there. They are in a, you know, the boxes from Easy Villagers. I'm not sure if that counts or not, but either way, let's go over here and we're going to build a small little box. In fact, we're going to go like this. Just dig down 3. That's probably enough. Let's go ahead and place a composter. Right there. Thank you. We're going to put a roof over this. Good enough. Okay. And I think just simply placing you down is going to be enough. Let's eat so that we are ready to go. You work. Okay, and you can go right there. And that counts as a raid. Perfect. Let's get out. And close you up. Cool. I should have brought another... Oh, do I have more jars? I have more jars. I don't have the ritual. The ritual's way over there. Because I'd like to capture one of these guys. Oh well. For now, let's just do this. In fact, I've got... open this. Let's grab a couple soul gems. Hello there. Vindicator can go in there. Those guys I can get emeralds from. Where are you? This direction. Yes. Okay. I also want to get... not leap spell. You guys can go there. I would like to get an evoker in the jar as well. For now I can just pick them up in a soul gem and that'll be fine. But these guys will drop emeralds, which will be a little handy. Okay, next raid. Good enough. I would like... Do I have a third one here? Trader llama. I don't need extra llamas. I got lots of llamas. You can go there. You're lucky this time. Where are you? Over there. Okay. So I want to get, like I said, an evoker in a jar and you. Yoink. Okay, nope. You guys get back here. Towards me. Thank you. Want to kind of avoid things near the villager because I don't want him to be a casualty from the area effect. There we go. Well, that was an easy round. Okay, and evoker, ideally. Alright. Hello, witch. Yoink. Right, these guys don't take much damage from cold snap, so we gotta do it this way. You too. Thank you. Don't hit me with poison. That's rude. Alright, got an evoker. No. Alright, well, I still need an evoker. I don't want to deal with you. Poison's getting a little annoying. Right, and the shield is not going to do me any good against the axes. Come on, shoot me, please. Thank you. One thing with the enchanter's shield here is it does increase our spell damage and give us some regen. You don't take damage from that. Hello there. I do want you. Did I get a totem yet? No, because there's only the one. Okay. Vex heads, that's kind of cool. Let's take some of those. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. You're not part of the raid. Alright, I am hoping to get 2 evoker, or rather 2 totems out of this. Because I would like one for my book, obviously, but also for my armor. There's a new thread, the Thread of Undying, and that takes a... Where did you go? Over there. It takes a totem of Undying and basically gives you... There we go. It gives you an extra, basically a totem effect once a day. You basically just recharge it by sleeping. So that's pretty cool. You can stay away from me. You guys can go away. Is this the last round? I only got 1 totem out of you. I guess I did capture one. Okay, good. Another raid. Cool, I got a Ravager statue. And I also got a second totem, which is honestly all I really need at this point. So if I lose the raid at this point, I don't really care. Mostly I just don't want to lose the villager, because it's annoying. Get back here. Why are you running? Why are you all running away from me? Is that all? No. 1 more. 2 more, probably. Yeah. But seriously, why are they running? There's one on the map right here. Oh, he fell down here. Okay. Hello. And how many more? Couple more over here. Okay. And, of course, taking a bath. You guys can go away. Thank you. Vexes, go away. Woo, here are the village. Awesome. So that is done. We've got ourselves 4 totems. Vexes, I really don't care about you. I'd rather not die, though. Do I have an extra one of these? Trader, Vindicator, Witch. You know, I can get another Witch later. Let's... Right. Yes. Nearly dead. Cool. Oh, well, we already won. Even with the flight ritual, I feel so slow without my armor. It's way over there. Hopefully I can get there before the flight runs out. Slowly. Slowly. Alright, let's get our stuff. And unfortunately, it looks like all the Vexes are gone. So we'll have to try to get another of those later. That's fine. The witch despawned too. Okay. Emeralds. Sure, we'll get some. Why not? Got plenty of them, and with that, we have all the parts we need for our new spellbook. So let's go ahead and fly home. Villager, you can just kind of hang out in there, that's fine. We'll come back for you later. Maybe. Probably not. Welcome to the Grand Library. So, since the last episode, I have spent considerable amount of time. In fact, it's been well over a week. Yeah, those other episodes were recorded quite a while ago. It took me a week or so. 2 weeks almost. But we have a library. Worked on it a lot. I am pretty happy with how it's turned out. We have a lovely little fish skeleton up there. Maybe a whale or dinosaur. Something. Fossil skeleton. I wanted one. We have our main storage, I think, will be down here. Got a Starbunkle. Yet to be named, but will eventually be named. Probably Bailey. A few more details I want to finish, like empty walls here. These can't be double chests, so they're just a single layer. One thing that's really interesting that I really love about this, these bookshelves, both the regular bookshelves and the drawers, this is from McCaw's Furniture, this is an inventory. So it's kind of cool. I can have this whole place, like the whole place, be storage. Eventually I do plan on having bookworm storage in here, but that doesn't exist yet. So for now, we've got a whole lot of storage area. Yep, ran out of books. Got a whole lot of area, and I haven't decided how I want to organize things yet, but eventually we'll be moving in here full-time as our primary storage. In fact, that's the main thing I wanted was I wanted the Tier 3 book. In fact, let's go ahead and make that. Use and do. Cool. Archmage spellbook. There we go. That now lets us get the blink spell. And the cool thing with that is we could set a blink location right here. And that means you will happily pick up every item I send back here and send it into storage, basically like an ender chest. That's kind of a cool thing. And congratulations to Morris TYB for also fighting the wild and Chimera. We'll just not mention the other parts to it. Good job. Alrighty, let's see here. Tier 3, we can finally get these spells. Lightning, that's pretty cool, and I don't really use it too much myself though. Intangible, unhelpful, lifelink is kind of broken. We'll deal with that. Blink, that is what I definitely want. 4 ender pearls, not too bad. Linger is extremely powerful. Wither I don't really use. Shrink's kind of cool. Summon decoy. I don't really use the decoys or really any of the summons. Summon Vex I might do just so I can capture one. Glide, of course that one's helpful, but we do have Glide on our armor, so that may not be that necessary. The main thing I wanted here, we've got Amplify 3 I guess I could also do, but kind of broken. Main thing I wanted was just Blink. Blink's the main thing. So let's go ahead and select you. Not enough XP. 10 levels. Okay. Let's see, what can we do? Because we had just died after we won the fight, but we can deal with that over here. Hello, Mr. Cleric. You've got 52 emeralds. I'm actually running low on redstone. Cool, thank you for the levels. As I was saying, we go here, we go to tier 3, we say we'd like Blink, thank you very much. Toss items as they appear. I've got my essences here. Essences? Essence I don't know. And for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. And this is the most powerful spell. Whenever anyone asks for the most powerful, like, PvP spell, Blink. Blink is the most powerful spell. Yeah. Ever. So we have a couple things we can do with this. We can do projectile. Blink is a fun one to do. Blink is, these are all alphabetical. So projectile blink is poof, we're here. In fact, even more powerful if I do ray. Boom. Why are you so loud and weird? Pitch all the way up. Perfect. Of course, one problem is ray has a range of only 16 blocks. So we'd have to expand that. Blink. Thank you. Yeah, fun spell. But the more powerful part is if I do something along the lines instead of, let's clear you, I would like touch and rune blink. What this does, if I place it down, Of course, on its own, it'll do basically the same as if I do self blink. So we can show that real quick. Self blink. Self blink is just teleport forward. Amplifies will increase the range, so you can go, through a wall if you'd like. But on a rune, cool, no big deal. But it also disappeared. If we do something like, do I have a warp scroll in here? I've got a couple. Let's go ahead and take one of these. Advancements were created after I, made this, so cool. I'm going to put you right here, I think. Okay, record the location to your warp scroll, and we'll name this later. Do I have an anvil in here? I don't think I do. No. What we can do is, if I put you, let's throw you in there. Why not? Now, if I put a clear you, I want touch and rune and blink. Now what it'll do is it will use the warp scroll in an adjacent inventory. Oh, iron farm got moved upstairs. So now if I walk on here, it will blink me over here. Hello. That might be an issue if we're underground. That's fine. But also what we can do is this works on items too. Emeralds are over there now. Of course, they're currently stuck in the ground because it used my Y coordinate of being down there. So emeralds are now over here, so that is probably not ideal. Might have to make a new spell or a new warp scroll, but that's fine. Basically though, we can do this anywhere. I can take this with me, and anywhere I am, if I'm digging, if I'm mining, whatever, I can simply place down an inventory, and it can be just about anything. Do I have a chest on me? Or got shulker box, that'll work. So I can go here, toss you in, and we can say, hey, let's send this home. Cool. Or we can do, I want to send all of this home. And I can just say, it's only doing one item at a time? Oh, I was hoping that would do more than one. Oh, that works. So all that stuff is now sent back to my base, my main storage, inside here. So, yeah, it's all kind of, again, glitching out through the chest here. Can break that. I'm just going to pick up everything when I do that because it has pickup on that spell. But basically you can see here, it's a remote sending to storage. And I think if this area is not loaded, it'll still be sent there, and it'll just kind of sit there forever until something does load it. For instance, when we went over there for the raid, there was still a bunch of the mage blocks on the ground. They're just going to sit there until the area is loaded, in which case I can come back here, and Starbuckle's going to get to work, putting things away once I, have things set up. Currently nothing is set up, so he just kind of sits there staring at the items. Yes, you. And I think the last thing I want to do today, if we head into our library and go upstairs, just a simple little spiral staircase, we go upstairs. I have a manual version of our enchanting apparatus. So with this, I have some things I would like to make, namely, to abjuration, a totem, and a phantom membrane, plus a thread gets us a thread of undying. And I'm thinking I'm going to get rid of the Drigme upgrade on here. So the totem of undying thread does require a level 3 slot. Drigme gets me extra like fortune and looting, or probably just looting, I think, which is, that's nice. Like on the raid there, that was nice. I got a lot of emeralds out of it, but I basically have infinite emeralds anyway, and there really aren't that many things that are that necessary to farm from a mob. Like, yeah, it'll be helpful like a gold farm, but I have a gold farm and it's automated. All those things are already automated, so it doesn't really do me much good. Do I have my upgrade table in here? Where did I put you? Ah, over here. So let's go over here, grab our hat, put you down. We're going to take off that one. So thread of Drigme, depths, and repairing. We're going to drop the Drigme. We're going to use undying, depths, and repairing. You. Cool. Now we can put that on. And I gotta test this, in fact, let's test this. Can I do something like self harm? Does that one work? I don't know if it works or not. Can I do this again? I want a delay in here. Do I have a delay? How do I not have... Wait, delay's over here. Okay. So, a fairly powerful spell. Self-harm, amplify, I mean, obviously this could be touch as well. It makes it more of a damage over time effect. But I have a thing on my armor, spell power, which increases damage. So didn't do anything. Okay, I took off some of my armor, so I still have the Undying and the spell power. There we go. Hey, cool. Thread of Undying will reactivate the next time you sleep. So we can go over here, we can sleep. I wonder if it has any indication on here. Doesn't seem to. Okay. So, for instance, if we had that, that would have been really, really handy for that fight. Because we don't do anything. Cool. Thread of Undying is now active. Cool, thank you. We're actually going to do that again. Cool. And bed's right here. Cool. Now the reason I want to do that is because come on. Leg. There we go. Cool. Another statue of me. That's what I wanted. Alrighty, armor back on, and I think we're good. Statue and head. It's always fun to have these. One thing is, I think if I plop you down, I think I can also rename you. I don't know if it uses redstone or if it needs a comparator. Let's find out. Probably comparator. I thought you were supposed to read the player, or is it only if it's on a pedestal? Do I have a pedestal? Don't have a pedestal anywhere. Alright, well, I think there's supposed to be a way you can use this as basically an online player detector. Maybe it's out the front. No? Okay. Not sure how to make it work, but in the meantime, I have another little mini-me. Thank you. And like I said, I think I can rename these to be anyone I want. But in the meantime, you're studying over here, and we'll have you looking at your little shore for that. Can you put you up there? No. We'll put you somewhere. Well, not a whole lot of base progress today, besides, you know, the off-camera work here in the library. I still need to move all of my stuff in here, but it's kind of overwhelming, to be honest. I've got all this storage, and I don't really know how I want to organize things. So all of these are gold chests, so it's basically a triple chest. 1, 2, 3. And I have upgrade slots as well, so I can get things like stack size upgrade, those sorts of things, which will be very handy for all the blocks that I work with. Basically, most of my storage should fit down there. I'm not sure if I want to integrate my storage that's up here as well. I do have one drawer of containment jars, that's fine. But I'm not entirely sure what else I want to put up here, if anything. Because to be honest, I didn't really plan for that. One thing is, these being an inventory, you can do things like monitor what's in them. So you could do like, you know, secret bookshelf. But I think we're going to call it there for this week. We've got a lot of stuff done in here, so that's kind of cool. We have ourselves a storage place, just nothing in it yet. And I think we can work on that next time, or maybe between episodes, haven't decided yet. It'll take a while to organize all that. But I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.